What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you for stopping by, clicking on the video. I want to talk about something that had actually crossed my mind on another video that I had done on how to support a man going through a divorce. And I was thinking about some of the things that actually made me nervous as I was going through my divorce. Not so much fear, but we can call it fear. Like, what was a great fear of mine as I went through my divorce journey? And I think that real men can relate to what I'm about to say. A lot of times, men will resist divorce, not so much because we still want to remain with that lady, and not even so much because of the finances, even though, as we know, it is cheaper to keep them. But when there are young children involved, and men understand that the way the system is set up, that women in general will have access to the kids more than the man, then it puts the father of those children, it puts us in a scary situation. And I was thinking about myself going through a divorce. I did not see, when you get a divorce, you already know you can't stop what the other person is going to do. You can't stop what your ex-wife is going to do. You can't stop what your ex-husband's going to do. You can't stop who they're going to see, who they're going to date, who they're going to love. All that power it don't exist. You have no control. As men, we have no control over who our ex-wife will see, who will date, will marry. And in this day and age, and I have a daughter and a son. And at the time of our separation and divorce, my daughter would have been 13 and my son would have been about 9. So I have a 13-year-old daughter and a 9-year-old son that I now have to wonder what will happen to them if their mother begins to like another guy that is going to be out of my control if something some nonsense would have taken place. That's what men have to think about, that a lot of times women don't understand. And it's not that a woman can necessarily do anything about it. She still has to move on with her life, just like the man will move on with his life. But I think that if women had a better understanding of what it is that the father will be going through mentally, what he will be feeling mentally, what some of his fears are mentally. We know we live in a crazy world. We know we live in a world where what men would do to their own, let alone somebody else's. And so the thought process of what we will do, should that ever happen to our kids, if it's your first time going through it, as it was mine, because I have no kids outside of the 2 that I've had with my ex-wife, that's a lot of pressure. That's a heavy burden. Because, and I'm going to try to say this without, being coded too hard on YouTube, I knew what I was willing to do had any of my kids been offended by a man. I knew the road that I was willing to take. And I didn't want to have to take that road, but I was ready to take that road. And we're doing, and ladies, listen to me. We're doing all of this in our imagination. We're doing all of this in our head. We're doing all of this at just the talk of divorce, at just the talk of separation. While y'all talking about, I can't stand you and we don't get along together. And it may not be that sassy. I may be embellishing the tone of a woman. Not all women have to talk that way. But a lot of divorces are very nasty as they come to an end, right? So we do expect some tone elevation there. But while y'all just going on and on and on and on, in our minds, we already know we pretty much gonna leave y'all the house. We gonna leave y'all the stuff. I keep saying this to women. Money and material things, when we have children as men, material things they don't bother us. Yeah, we want to keep our Harleys and we want to keep our boats and we want to keep different. We don't want everything just to be taken, but most men know we can survive anywhere under any circumstances. We already know that. We already know we can grind and get back at whatever we have to do. We already know that. Even if we got to go to a dark place for a while, we know we can bounce back. But how our kids will be impacted by another bruh, by another man, by a strange man that will entertain their presence, especially when you have a son or even more when you have a daughter. You don't know if this dude gonna be walking around. Like you got to trust that the baby mom or the ex-wife really is on her P's and Q's. I don't want this grown man walking around with no shirt. You know what I'm saying? No, that was my thought process. I don't want this grown man walking around. And eventually my ex-wife did begin to date, and eventually she did get married. All of this stuff. And me and him still to this day don't have a great relationship. I'm not saying it's because of that. It's just the way that things was handled that I felt was just a lot of, I'm not going to go into it because like I said, I try not to talk about things if the other person is not there to give their side. So all I'm going to say is my part on it. I felt that there was a lot of disrespect in how certain things went down, particularly with the handling of my children. So we just don't have a good relationship at all. But it's not that anything bad where I fear for my safety of my kids or any danger or anything like that to them. But going in, it was though. Going in, I was very much concerned before the new guy ever showed up in my mind. I was like, what am I going to do when my ex begins to date another guy? He's going to be around. Eventually they may fall in love, whatever. He's going to be around. Eventually she may remarry. They're going to live in the same house. I got a 13, 14-year-old daughter. I got a 9, 10-year-old son, of which I am powerless to protect because I don't live in the house. And like I said, ladies, there's nothing y'all can do to change it. Just realize that there is a responsibility on a real man that he's going to feel when he is not in the same house with his children. There's a protective thing that goes off in us that even if we can't get along with the mom, if we're living in the same house, we feel that we can protect our kids from any hurt, harm, and danger. And it's not even true. We can't protect our kids from everything, but we know at least if evil's gonna lurk, it won't lurk in the house. It'll have to happen outside of the house. But as long as they are, under our roof, they're under our protection. We know we got it. We know we can protect them. We'll lay down our life for our children. But boy, when you bring in the thought of another man that we don't know, we know nothing of his background, nothing of his past, nothing of anything that he is capable of. We don't know his psyche, his way of thinking. We don't know his vow. We're trusting the woman who we don't even get along with ourselves. We're trusting the woman who we second guess half of her decisions anyway. That was me. We've been second guessing each other's decisions the last 10 years. Now I got to trust that you're going to pick the right joker that can lead a home that my children's going to be in? Ladies, it's a lot. As long as y'all get the understanding, that's all Professor X care about. Be a little merciful. Y'all who going through a divorce right now and y'all got children, understand some of that grunt, that anger that you may feel coming from your husband, soon to be ex-husband or boyfriend or whatever situation y'all have. Understand, if y'all have kids, some of that is his fear of his imagination that something terrible could take place and he not be in a position to stop it. And ladies, yes, we don't trust that y'all can do anything about it. We don't. I'm just telling you, we don't. We know y'all not going to let it go on for so long, but once damage is done, it's done. So yeah, we know y'all not going to we assume y'all not going to let nothing crazy happen to one of y'all own kids. Don't get me wrong. We don't think y'all are fools. But the power to stop a situation before it can happen, because it's enough. No, we don't trust y'all. Y'all got that kind of power, man. We don't. So that's why we feel weird when we're put in a situation where we're out the house, we're moved on with our lives, and I'm talking about real men here. I'm not talking about men don't care nothing about their kids, leaving with the ex-wife, baby mama, I'm gone, I ain't talking about those men. This ain't that kind of channel. I feel like this channel's for mature people who understand I have responsibilities regardless of the decisions and the choices that I have made. So I just want to make this video to maybe also help somebody. Ladies, you're going through divorce with your husband, your boyfriend, you got kids with that person. They're very much concerned with your next move. I hate to say it, but we would rather see y'all not necessarily single, but there was no dude ever in the house. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. We don't really care if y'all ever get married again or ever have a live-in boyfriend again. As long as we got kids there, especially on the younger side, nah. I know it sounds selfish, but that's a burden, man. When your young kids live in the house of another man and you have no power to control how he move, how he operate, what he wear, it's a burden, man. It's a burden. So anyway, hopefully this helps somebody. I don't even know what I'm going to title this, but hopefully this helps somebody in just understanding what men go through when we go through a divorce and have kids with the ex-wife in particular, or any relationship that you have kids and y'all was living together and then it comes to an end and the man leaves and there's a possibility that another man will come into the picture. It is a heavy burden on a real man. As long as, ladies, you are aware of that, and with that knowledge, maybe can move with a little more mercy and grace and understanding why he would fight not to go, as opposed to, because men know when the relationship is over, so we won't care about that. But we'll stay in a bad one if it means that we get to stay and protect our kids. Now, once they get all the way to the end where we can't take it no more, we like, look, we just gotta go. But for the most part, we'll stay in a bad one to protect our children. Y'all get in the comments and let me know. Y'all men, anybody feel the same way I do? Let me know in the comments. I appreciate y'all. Be blessed.